Shalom, Yasharallah. This is your brother Dawud Da coming at you with this truth again from GMS Tampa Bay 07. First and foremost, I want to give all praises unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Waha Rakak Kadash. Double honor to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love to you. I came on the four corners of the earth pushing this truth and sincerity and truth, pushing this truth and sincerity. Alright? I'm going to jump into this here, this quick little lesson dealing with judgments, and popular, with these heathen and 2/3 of our people, they like to say, you can't judge me, you can't judge, only God can judge me now, those type of things. Well, that's contrary to what the scriptures is speaking about. So we're going to just jump in into the scriptures here, and let me grab 2 Corinthians. This is 2 Corinthians 13, chapter 5. Now, in this lesson, I'm going to break down the different, let me actually grab another precept first. You're going to be judging a lot of things, And, matter of fact, let me just get to that precept, because that's going to explain everything. This is Deuteronomy 32 and 4. Yeah, Deuteronomy 32 and 4. It says, He is the rock. His work is perfect. Now, He is talking about the Most High, Yahweh. Okay, He is the rock. His work is perfect, for all His ways are judgment. Okay, so the Most High, all His ways, He's perfect, and all His ways are judgment. Like, what does that mean, So, for an example, you got, you at the sink and you running some water, okay, or a bath. You trying to run some bath water, We all know this, You running your bath water. You put your hand under the faucet to see if it's too hot or if it's too cold. What are you doing? You judging the temperature of the water. Okay, maybe I need more cold water. Maybe I need more hot water. That type of deal. So you get the just right bath water. But if you just fill up the bathtub without judging that, you just turn the hot water on and just let it run. You go get in the bathtub, you're gonna burn yourself. Or if you just turn the cold water on, and you go get in the water, it's freezing cold. Or it's just lukewarm. So you want to sit there and you want to judge, about the temperature of the water. And same with anything else, you loaded something, okay, maybe this is too heavy of a load for this. This might break whatever it is, or this might be too much, When you eating, you putting food down your throat, or you drinking, you have to judge, okay, this is too much liquid going down my throat, I might, choke. Same with eating, So you judge those type of things, but it's in a whole lot more ways. It says here, Deuteronomy 32 and 4 says, He is the rock. His work is perfect for all His ways, okay? I just brought out some examples. But we're talking about all His ways, and everything He does, He judges it. He sits there and examines, okay, what's the outcome of this and that, blah, 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 and, well, certain things like that. So all His ways is judgment. He don't just do anything without thinking about it, thinking his ways through, His ways are so much above ours, He already understands certain things. He didn't already thought out, what would the judgment be for this and that, and consequences of all these things, So this is what makes the Most High perfect. It says, Deuteronomy 32 and 4 again, He is the rock. His work is perfect, for all His ways are judgment, a power of truth and without iniquity. Just and right is He. Okay? Now jumping back over to 2 Corinthians 13 and verse 5. Okay? And so I wanted to bring that first precept out was to show you the comparison of, the Most High, Yahweh, and His Son, Yahweh Shah, is supposed to be our examples. Okay? And so, we're trying to... how does Scripture say, roughly paraphrasing, be ye perfect, We're trying to obtain that, The Most High gave us, He gave us basically a guideline or a blueprint to how to walk righteously, these Scriptures. But nevertheless, we have to sit here and judge certain things, We have to sit there and like, okay, is this too much, too little, or am I doing enough, am I not doing enough? These type of things, And this is dealing with just your own self, But it says the Most High does it in all ways, so we're going to break down some of those things. So this is 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. It says, examine yourself. Okay, so this is just dealing with you and your own self. Okay, and you got to be checking your own self. It says, examine yourself, whether you be in the faith. Okay, so it's one thing you out on the highways and the byways, and I can't really speak on this because you got to understand the fear of the Most High. I don't understand why anybody would go out there doing this type of shit anyway. But, like we read about these hypocrites, they'll go out there and say, real example, the McDonald's commercial. Okay, the people that run McDonald's is promoting that this shit, we want to see you smile and this shit's good and blah, 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 blah. This is the shit you need to be eating. However, the top of the rung of those people, they're not eating that shit, you know? So they basically like hypocrites, you know? They're not examining their own self, you know? You telling me to eat this McDonald's, but you don't feed this shit to your own kids, you know? Barack Obama, he's okay with, you know, Americans watching television, but he don't allow his children to watch television. So this is the type of deal. So what we're talking about is examining your own self. You telling people, okay, look, you shouldn't be eating pork. You need to keep the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. You need to come back to the Most High. This is His name, you know. You an Israelite, such and so forth. You telling people that, but yet you're not doing that on your own self. You need to examine your own self, you know. You know, and things like that. So you got to so-called check your own self, make sure you are, you know. And you know, and sometimes it's like that in the regular world, you know. Sometimes, like, I know I'm very inquisitive about a lot of things, so sometimes I see something that might not make sense to me, and I'll you know, ask a genuine question. Like, yo, I'm not quite sure what's supposed to be going on here, but I don't think I understand what's going on here. Can you explain this to me to let me understand so I can understand what's going on? Or this just don't look right to me, and can you verify X, Y, and Z, make sure everything is safe? And, you know, things like that that's going on, you know? Just get a double check, you know? I'd rather be safe than sorry. So, again, what is it saying? Examine thyself, you know? It says, examine yourself, whether you be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Yahushua HaMashiach is in you, except you be reprobates? Okay? So, you know, again, like I was just saying, you know, you don't want to be a hypocrite telling people, you know, you need to keep the laws, IUIC, you know? They're talking about you need to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. Well, one of the commandments is saying that, look, in that place where it said you are not my people, they're basically roughly paraphrasing, they're going to call on my name, you know? And there's a lot of scriptures say that these people are going to be calling on my name, you know? Talking about like the 144,000, the elect, and all those. There's plenty of scriptures that say talking about calling on thy name, you know? But nevertheless, you know, they out there preaching about the laws and the commandments and stuff like that, keeping the law, statutes, commandments, but yet, you know, it's commanded of you to call on the Most High in His name, you know? There's no name under all the names of heaven you're going to be saved by, but under the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, you know? But yet they're comfortable with calling Him Christ. So they need to examine their own self, you know, whether they in the faith. You know, they teaching you how to so-called be in the faith, but are they really walking in the faith? You know? So that's one level of it. You know, you got to sit there and examine your own self. Examine your own self. Do a self-examination. Next scripture is in the book of Ezekiel chapter 3. We'll start at verse 16. It says, And it came to pass at the end of the 7 days that the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, okay, so here's a commandment. The Most High is commanding Ezekiel something, okay? It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the words at my mouth, and give them warning from me, okay? So what we're about to get into is going to break it down further. Basically, what we just read, you know, at one point in time, so we're going to apply this to Ezekiel. Examine thyself, make sure you in the faith, okay? So Ezekiel had to go through that first. He got to make sure he's straight, you know? He got to, you know, cleanse his own self and start walking righteously, you know. And before he go out and start telling other people, hey, man, look, you're going to get put to death for eating pork, you know, or committing adultery. But yet you over here doing it. So that was his first step. Now he's over here about to start. The Most High is commanding him to go out and basically, we're going to get into it, but basically what he's getting into is he's going to start making judgments on the people. Like, look, I perceive that you going off, and I'm about to let you know what your judgment is going to be. Like, look, come back to the Most High, or you're going to basically get put to death, you know. So it says, Ezekiel 3:17 again, Son of man, I've made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. Okay? So judge the actions of what they're doing. Okay? The Most High said, look, those committing adultery, you know, you're not going to inherit the kingdom of heaven. Okay? So you got to go out there and you tell them. So if you're doing this, okay, well then obviously you ain't going to get this, and that. You know, telling people, you know, when you go to an airport to get on an airplane, okay, they're making judgments right then and there. Right before you get on the airplane, they're judging who's getting on that plane or not. By what? By the people who got the damn right plane ticket to get on the plane, you know. If you don't got this ticket, you can't get on, you know. Same here. If you don't follow these laws, statutes, commandments, you can't, it's not going to end well for you, okay. So this is a certain judgment that's being made here, okay. So Ezekiel now is judging the children of Israel. So you have a so-called man judging other men on this earth. You know, there's a slice that only God can judge me now. Okay, it says, verse 18, it says, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speak to warn the wicked from his wicked ways to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. So, again, you know, roughly paraphrasing, the Most High then already, you know, when you go up at the top, it says, let me just get it instead of roughly paraphrase, it says, Ezekiel 3:1, it says, moreover he said unto me, son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and speak unto the house of Israel. Okay, so basically, the Most High gave him the guidelines that they had to fall under, you know. And if you walking outside of those boundaries, then your ass gonna get the judgment cast upon you. Okay, this is what we was reading about down here in verse 17 or 18. Ezekiel 3:18 again. It says, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speak to warn the wicked from his wicked ways to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked ways, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. And again, when the righteous man doth turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die, because thou hast not given him warning. He shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he has done shall not be remembered, but his blood will I require at thy hand. Okay? Verse 21, nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man, and the righteous sin not, and he doth not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned, thou hast delivered thy soul. So again, here the Most High is telling Ezekiel, look, go out, like the commandment is today, go out to the highways and the byways, bid as many to the marriage, you know, and then they got to be cleaned up, you know, you got to fish them out first, you know, and then you got to, you know, like when you actually fishing, you know, you got to catch the fish, bait the fish, bring them in, then you got to put them in the bucket. After that, you got to like take the scales off, take the scales off and gut the fish and all that, prepare the fish, you know what I'm saying, before you can even eat the fish, you know. Same way here, you know, you got to tell these people, you know, you got to so-called judge these people, you know, let them know what's going on, you know, let them know to turn from their sins, like these scriptures are saying, you know, before you can, you know, basically before they catch their judgment, you know, before they catch it unwarned, more or less to say, you know, that blood's going to be on your hand. But nevertheless, the Most High put Ezekiel here in charge, and also the other prophets, because it says the things that was written aforetime was written for our learning and understanding. Okay, so these are examples for us at this point in time, you know, and we had the same commandment here. Okay, my next precept I'm going to grab, it's in the book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 28. Matthew 19 and 28, it says, and Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye shall also sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? So, you know, first, we read about examining thyself. You got to judge your own self, you know? And also, you know, just judging your own self, making sure, am I reading enough? Am I doing, am I edifying when I'm doing my videos and things like that, you know? And then also in a small carnal sense, you know, again, let me judge my bathwater. Is it too hot, too cold? You know, that'll get you into a better standing in life. You know, am I driving too fast? Am I driving too slow? These type of things, you know, that's just on a carnal sense, you know. But in a more spiritual sense, you need to be, you know, examining thyself to see if you're in the faith, you know. You got to be checking your own self. Then not only that, you know, like we read with Ezekiel, you're going to be judging, you know, the children of Israel, especially on this side at this point in time right now, before judgment day comes, you know. But here in Matthew, we're talking about basically after all that time, you know. We're talking about at the time when we're coming into the kingdom, okay. So you judging yourself, and you judging small matters in your life, and you also judging the children of Israel when you're on the highways and the byways, you know, letting them know, you know, what's about to come to them if they don't get right, you know. Then also here it says, Matthew 19:28, it says, Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration of the Son of Man, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, you shall also sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? So, you know, at the time when we enter into the kingdom, you're still going to be judging the children of Israel. Okay? So you're going to be judging other men as well. Okay? You're going to be judging children of Israel, then it's going to follow into the kingdom. You're going to be judging the other nations as well, you know. Just like how Esau and the Rothschilds is judging all of us right now. You know, these are the ones who's making these laws about this and that, how much you're going to pay in taxes, how much you're going to work, and so on and so forth. They're the ones making that judgment at this point in time, you know. But everything's going to switch up here shortly. My last precept. This is in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6. Start at the top. It says, "Dare any of you having a matter against another go to the law before the unjust and not before the saints?" Okay. So hold on, let me see. It says, Do you not know that the saints shall judge the world, and if the world shall be judged by you, are ye worthy to judge the smallest matters? Okay. So again, like I just said at the top, like, yo, you having some kind of issue, especially in this truth, you know. Are you going to go to a two-third or to a heathen and ask them to sit there and judge this matter? No, you're going to go to the men of the Lord to ask them to judge, you know, these matters, okay? And then it further breaks off, like, if you think that's kind of crazy, because you know how most people think nowadays, you know, only God can judge me now. You can't judge me. You ain't God. So the scriptures here in the New Testament, you know, is a clear cut to that. It says, "Do you not know that the saints," and we know who the saints are, the children of Israel, the 144,000, the elect, the one-third, okay? "Do you not know that the saints shall judge the world?" Okay? "And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters?" So you're going to be judging the world. And what does that mean by that? Okay, first of all, like we just read, you're going to be, in Ezekiel, you're going to be judging, first of all, you're going to be judging yourself. Cleaning yourself up first and foremost before you can judge anybody else. You know, you can't teach somebody I can't tell you how you should be operating your household if I ain't got no control of my household, you know? I can't teach you how to be financially responsible if I'm all in debt and everything's all falling behind, you know? So, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what's going on here. You can't have somebody unequally yoked with you, somebody that's not spiritual at all trying to judge spiritual matters, you know? That's not going to work. But then also, you know, you're going to be judging, like I said, you're going to be judging, well, we're judging Israel now at this point in time, but then also you're going to be judging Israel and these other nations when you come into the kingdom, okay? And it also says you're going to be judging angels, you know? You're going to be judging, basically, you're going to be the new gods of the earth, you know? Like the scriptures say, you know? You're going to be joint heirs with Yahushua, okay? And like we just read, you're going to be sitting on these 12 thrones judging 12 tribes of Israel. Then you're going to be judging, you know, it says here you're going to judge all the world. Then at the very end of it, it says, "Are you unworthy to judge the smallest matters?" Okay, like I was bringing out earlier today, like in Deuteronomy 32, how you talk about the Most High is perfect for all His ways of judgment. You know, the smallest matters. Like, how do I put this? You wise enough to understand these things in the scriptures, but you're not wise enough to know how to judge your bath water. Every time you get in the bathtub, you're always burning yourself. You know, learn simple judgment. Every time you go to make a turn, you cut the turn too wide or too short. You don't ever make the turn right. You might need to practice that, you know. You can't get the damn car in the parking space the first time go around. You might need to judge that a little better, you know. These are the smallest matters, little carnal senses, you know. But then also, you know, like I said, there's heavier things, spiritual matters, you know. A prime example of that was Solomon with the lady who wanted to split she didn't want to split the child in half. They ate one child, was going to eat the other child. Supposedly that was their deal. And Solomon was like, or, you know, who's the mother of this child, you know, more or less to say. You know, and he was like, all right, well, fuck it. We'll cut the baby in half, and you take half the baby, and you take half the baby. That's how we'll settle this, you know. But Solomon was wise enough to understand, you know, he judged the matter. He was like, look, the real mother of this child ain't going to want to see her child cut up. She'd rather see her child go to another person than see her child get put to death. So I'll just go ahead and get a commandment just like, you know, split the child in half. You take half, you take half. And I'll look at the reactions of the two people, and I'll judge that. And he judged the reaction. The one lady was like, go ahead, fuck it. Cut the nigga in half. I'll take half, you take half. You know what I'm saying? But the real mother was like, no, don't cut him in half. She can have him. So Solomon was like, all right, well, give her, that's the real mom over there, because she's more concerned about this child's life, you know what I'm saying, than the other woman is, you know? But nevertheless, going back up to verse 2, 1 Corinthians 6 and 2, it says, do you not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are you unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? Yeah, I don't know why I just roughly paraphrased quoting this, but this is actually where it said, you know, you're going to judge the angels, you know. It says, if then you have judgments of things pertaining to this life, set them to judge who are the least esteemed in the church. I speak to your shame. Is it so that there is not a wise man among you, no, not one that shall be able to judge between his brethren? You know, but brother goeth to law with brother, that before the unbelievers. You know, basically just going back, you know, reiterating on, you know, you're going to judge the smallest matters. How much more of these bigger things, you know? This is, you know, it's kind of like what this whole lesson is about. Like, it's retarded to even think that, you know, you say that only the Most High can judge you. Like, well, when did you see himself come down here, you know? All the times beforehand, you've seen the prophets come out, you know? He set up the king, before that, he set up the judges to judge, okay? That, you know, you go back to the book of Judges, you know, with Eli and all that, his sons and stuff like that, we had judges. Then we had prophets. Then we had kings, you know? So there was always judgment set out of the Most High by way of men, you know? But nevertheless, you know, I'm going to go ahead and close out with this, but, you know, that's just a quick cut of that false-ass Christian doctrine, that Crowley Christianity, that do thou what, you can do whatever, you can't judge me, only God can judge me. God know my heart, you know? Obviously, you know, y'all worshiping a different God, a strange God, because, you know, we read about the Most High is revealed through these scriptures, okay? And he told us the things about him and the things pertaining to him and how to serve him and how to serve him in righteousness, okay? He gave us law, statutes, commandments, and these are part of his law, statutes, commandments, talking about we're going to judge certain matters from the smallest to the greatest. You know, you're going to judge things in your life from your bath water up to your own spiritual walk, you know? Are you really in the faith? Then you're going to be judging, you know, your own people, whether they're going to be a two-third or the elect. You're going to be on the highways and the byways fishing and bidding as many to the marriage, you know? Then you're going to be judging on those 12 thrones, you know? Then you're going to be judging these other nations and shit like that, you know? So there's going to be plenty of judgment going out. You know, this is what the Most High is setting us up for right now, is teaching us real judgment. He woke us up out of our wickedness and not giving a fuck about shit and teaching us how to so-called run the business, you know? It's like waking somebody up from being an employee at McDonald's, teaching you how to run the business, you know? Beforehand, you just go in, clock in, get your paycheck. Now he's teaching you how to balance the budget book and deal with hours and all this and that, and how to manage the little spots, you know? So this is the transition we're coming into, because we're going to be a nation of kings and priests, okay? And what are both of those job titles include? Judgments. King is making the final judgment. The priest, same thing, you know? In fact, you know, in those times, the kings went to the priests, you know, they consulted with the priesthood, you know? But nevertheless, we're going to go ahead and close out with that. Until next time, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Until next time, I say, Call Halal Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that taught me this truth and that ruled well. And salutations and much love to you, Akim, that's pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth. Stay strong. Shalom.